So I just want to give a quick shout out to Dr. David Schechter. I'm a photographer here in Los Angeles, and I've been dealing with lower back pain for over 3 years. My injury actually turned into a workers' comp case, and I mention that only because I think it added a lot of stress mentally. I've seen a lot of doctors. I started with chiropractic. I've seen a neuromuscular therapist. I've done a lot of physical therapy. I've seen spine surgeons. I did a facet joint injection. I've seen pain management, a lot of doctors, and they're all basically telling me the same thing. They're telling me I have degenerative disc disease, that it's a chronic condition, there's nothing really they can do for me. I'm going to be dealing with this the rest of my life, and hey, I better get used to it. So very frustrating when you're sitting in front of them with all this physical pain, discomfort, and they can't do anything for you. So about 3 years after, 3 years later, I found Dr. Schechter's book, Think Away Your Pain. I actually listened to the audio version of it on a road trip, and it really resonated with me. This is the first time in 3 years that I felt that someone understood my story, that they got me, and everything that he was saying in that book, he described a type T personality, which I fit every single one of those characteristics. Everything that he was saying just fit so perfectly with my story that I was actually crying in the car, just thinking like, oh my gosh, like finally there's something, right? So not even a month after that, I went and saw Dr. Schechter in his office. He tested me, did all the pain points. I triggered for almost all of them. He diagnosed me with CMS and saw me again about a month after that for a follow-up. At that visit, he asked me, what percentage better are you? And I really had no idea how to answer that. I was, maybe 50%. And up until that point, I had been journaling and upped my physical activity. But it wasn't until after that visit that I really started listening to the podcasts and the interviews that he had recommended. That's when I really got that. I really had it in my head that this was going to be a long process, that changing my mindset about something was going to take 6 to 9 months, maybe a year. It wasn't going to happen overnight. And through listening to all the interviews and the podcasts, I realized some people get relief just by reading the book, and some people take longer. And, each person has their own individual story, and that it didn't have to be 6 to 9 months or a year. So now it's been 4 months since I first listened to his book, and I can say that I'm 90 to 95% better. So I highly recommend it. When doctors are telling me they can't do anything for me, no one had ever mentioned a mind-body connection. So just that little example of, the time frame of recovery was so was proof in itself that my mind had been telling my body that it's not time to recover yet. So if you're dealing with any chronic pain, I highly, highly recommend that you read Dr. Schechter's book. Go see him. I hope that you can find the relief that I have found. Thank you.